In this video, we are going to build the best AI voice assistant on the internet.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great.
How can I confidently say that? Because I've been using Retell AI every day for 3 months, and yesterday I had a call with Retell's enterprise team where their senior developers showed me the most optimal settings
That secret formula.
to maximize the performance of any voice assistant, inbound or outbound. Now, I've been building AI receptionists for about 3 months. Before that, I was in e-commerce and SMMA, and I dropped everything I was doing to do AI receptionists, build AI receptionists full time.
Nerd.
This video is going to serve as the ultimate guide when it comes to Retell AI. Got to keep things simple and streamlined. So we're going to look at their dashboard, go over the basics, and then I'm going to show you guys the settings and the tips that Retell's enterprise team suggested. Let's get straight into it. All right, so first head over to retellai.com. You can sign in the top right. Now, once you get in, this is what the dashboard is going to look like. As you can see, we're in the agent section. So within the agent section, you're just going to see the agents that you currently have listed. You should have 0 if it's a fresh account. I have 5 on this account. Right under agents is your knowledge base. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we're actually building the agent. Under that is phone numbers. This is where you buy your phone numbers that you can attach to the agents. The second you buy a phone number and attach it to an AI agent, it's live. You can call that number and your AI receptionist, your AI voice assistant will pick up. Under this is batch calls. If you're doing outbound calls, this is where these calls are going to land. Under monitor, we have call history, chat history, and analytics. So call history, this is a very important section. This is going to show you all the details within your calls. If you click on one, you can hear the recording. You can see some basic summary details as well as detail logs below. This is the entire payload that it spits out. This is only relevant if you are coding and you're connecting this to other servers. If you're just building AI voice assistants on Retell, I really wouldn't worry too much about the payloads, this and that, but the transcription of the call is cool to look at sometimes, and the recordings definitely come in handy because you can use them as proof, as testimonials when you're trying to get clients. Chat history, this is just if you're sending texts and messages. Analytics, this is a summary of all your analytics with all your agents. You can filter up here on the top. And then you just have billings and settings below the monitor section. Now, those are the basics when it comes to Retell AI and knowing where things are. So let's create an agent. We're doing a voice agent. So single prompt agent is what I use. It's pretty much when you're providing one block of instructions. It is the simplest one. For your purposes, and even for my purposes, single prompt agent works perfectly. We're going to start from blank. These are just templates you can pick from, but starting from blank, in my opinion, is the best route to go. Now you're inside of the agent. This is what the agent dashboard looks like. The first thing you should always set up is the prompt. I've done over 100 tests with this prompt, and I even reviewed it with the Retell Enterprise team, and they made suggestions, which I incorporated in this prompt. So this probably is the best prompt that anyone has ever made on Retell AI. We're going to bring that prompt over here. If you want this prompt, shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm going to leave my handle in the description below. If you don't want to use my prompt, you can go over to ChatGPT, give it some context, like I'm building an AI voice assistant. I want it to do this, this, and this. I'm using Retell AI, blah, blah, blah. Once you have your prompt configured, the first thing you should do is head down to welcome message, and we're going to do AI speaks first. We're going to do a custom message. This is the first message that is said during the conversation. For our purposes, hello, how can I help you today? Worked perfectly as the first message. Then we're going to head up to the top. SEMO is the best voice to use. Retell has confirmed that themselves, but they do also recommend cloning a voice. So if you want to go out of the way, get some audio clips and upload them, you can do so here. And they say that some of the best voices are cloned voices. You can even pick from the community here and test out with that. But I love SEMO. I think SEMO is a great choice. It sounds great, and it's right here. It's provided by 11 Labs, which is connected through Retell. Once you have your voice configured, Retell's team suggests using the settings that they provide here. However, they do say that if you are using a female voice, Lower the voice temperature to 0.9 because the female voices have more sensitivity and inconsistency when it comes to the tone. So it's going to be high pitched at times, low pitched at times. If you lower the temperature a little bit, this should help with that. So that's what we're going to do since we're using a female voice. Here we're using English. You can select multilingual, which is 50 plus languages. It'll just detect whatever language the caller is using and speak in that. But if you don't need it to be multilingual, I would use English because multilingual I think is a little bit slower just because it's listening for all those languages at once. There's a higher chance that it messes up just because it has obviously 50 plus languages now in its backend as opposed to one. And then there are a bunch of other languages here that you can just select from. Now coming over to the middle, you have your functions. So this is where functions are essentially tools that you can have your AI call or use during the actual phone call. So the two most important are call transfer. This is where the AI can actually transfer the call to, let's say, a live person if it can't handle the caller's request. So you can leave this the same, transfer call. You can leave the description the same, transfer to human agent. This is where you're going to want to plug in whatever phone number that you want the transferred call to go to. And then under type, I definitely think you should select warm transfer. If you do warm transfer, you can select a ringtone so the caller actually hears something while they're being transferred. You can pick ringtone, relaxing sound, even music if you want. And then the coolest part, I would turn off human detection, is whisper message. Now, this is pretty much where when the AI issues a transfer and the business picks up the phone, the first thing that comes on the phone is the AI before the person. So the AI comes onto the phone and says, whatever you want it to say, you prompt it right here. So we're going to say hello to the human and state why the caller is calling. So if we save this, now when the AI transfers the call and the business picks up, the AI is going to come on the phone first and say, hey, I have John calling. He wants to talk about a refund. Once you have that configured, you can hit save. And then the other most important function is going to be end call. So this is just allowing the AI receptionist to end the call. So keep the name the same. And in the description, write something like end the call when the caller's concern is handled. Now, one thing to note about functions. The name of the function has to match exactly to what is in the prompt. So if we come over here to transfer call, you can see every time I mention that a call transfer should take place, it matches exactly the name in the function. And the same goes for end call. My end call section's here at the bottom. When the caller doesn't need any more assistance, you use action end call. You can add a bunch more functions here. Like if your client is using cal.com, you can just easily connect cal.com by going into their cal.com account, getting an API key, connecting it here, and then just prompting the agent correctly to do whatever you want it to do. If your client's using, this goes for appointment booking. If your client is using something like Google Calendar or Calendly, you're gonna have to set up a custom function and then go into a platform like make.com or N8N, and then you can connect their calendar directly to your Retell voice assistant. It definitely does get more complicated when you start setting up custom functions. So we're going to save that for another video. The rest of the functions are also kind of basic. Press digit, no one really uses, that's kind of outdated. Send SMS, this is just when you want to send text messages, but you need numbers that are HTTP verified, which is a whole nother process. But Retell kind of assists you with that. It just takes a couple weeks to get it up and running. And then extract dynamic variables, just like if you want to extract the caller's name and send it over in some sort of payload. Now going down to knowledge base. Knowledge base, if you don't already know what it is, it's pretty much just a foundation of information that the AI can reference throughout the phone call. So as you can see in the prompt here, we have a knowledge base section and it says you have access to vetoes, hours, address, parking, delivery options, etc., full menu, etc. Use it to answer questions about hours, directions, menu items, and so forth. Now, when a conversation is going on and someone asks, hey, what time do you guys close? The AI will know to tap into the knowledge base and let the caller know that Vito's closes at 9 p.m. or whenever they close. To create a knowledge base, you're going to want to exit out of your agent and head over to the knowledge base section. Hit the plus sign. We're going to name it Vito's knowledge base. And under documents, we're just going to do text. This is just for sample purposes. We're just going to say Vito's hours, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Monday and Saturday to Sunday, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Now we're going to hit save. Save again. Now to attach it, we're going to head back into the agent. I'm going to go over to knowledge base and we're going to hit add and we're going to connect Vito's knowledge base. There. Now the knowledge base is attached and the AI can reference that whenever needed. Moving down from knowledge base, you have your speech settings. Now this section is very important. First things first is the background sound. I love putting background sound on. It just makes it sound more realistic, the call more realistic. So putting this on basically just puts a background noise of whatever you select in the background of the AI while it's on the phone with the caller. It's subtle, doesn't get in the way of the call, and it just gives some liveliness to the actual phone call. Now, responsiveness, this is how fast the AI actually answers after each sentence that is said by the caller. 1 is very fast. I recommend 0.9 just to give it, a second to think. Under responsiveness, you have interruption sensitivity. This is how sensitive the AI is to interruptions. So if the caller tries speaking over the AI, the higher this is, the faster the AI will stop talking. The lower it is, the longer it will take for the AI to stop talking. Retell recommends that you put this at 0.5. Back channeling is a cool section, but Retell's team does recommend you keep it off, so I'm not even going to go into it. Enable speech normalization. This is only important if you're extracting stuff from their payloads. If you are extracting stuff from their payloads, Retell's team recommends to keep it on. It does slow things down a little bit. We're going to keep it off since we're not extracting anything from the payloads. Pronunciation is cool. Let's say you're building a receptionist for a doctor's office, and the doctor in the office has an interesting name. You're definitely going to want to throw pronunciation in there. You pretty much just write the word, and then you can tell it how to actually pronounce the name. Moving on to real-time transcription settings. Definitely select remove noise and background speech. This is pretty self-explanatory, but if a caller is on the phone with the AI and someone in the caller's background is like they have a friend yelling or something, if you have remove background speech on, then the AI won't get interrupted by background noise. So definitely important. Transcription mode. I used to use optimize for speed because speed was very important to me, but Retell's team says that it's really not a big difference and that you should go for the accuracy in most cases. So we switched over from optimize for speed to optimize for accuracy. Vocabulary specialization doesn't mean much. You can keep that off. Boosted keywords. Now, if there is some very common words that you expect to occur during all the phone calls, then put something here. For example, if you're building an AI receptionist for restaurants, penne alla vodka, very popular dish, and the AI might have trouble with it, so you can just throw in penne alla vodka. And it will just be more familiar with that term during the phone call. Moving on to call settings, everything above this box can stay the same, including what's in the box. What you do want to change is end call on silence, max call duration, and ring duration. So end call on silence, this pretty much means how long is the AI going to wait for the caller to say something before they hang up. So I would give the caller 5 minutes to say something. If there's 5 minutes of silence, call ends. Max call duration. I definitely would lower it from an hour. I usually go 10 minutes. This pretty much just means if the call hits 10 minutes, it dies. Ring duration. This is when a call is being transferred. How long will you allow the ring to actually occur for? we are going to do 20 seconds. So we'll give the business or whoever we're transferring the call to 20 seconds to pick up the phone call. Now, why are these settings important and why did I just lower everything? You have to realize you're getting charged per minute. That's how Retell makes money. So once this AI receptionist, once this AI voice assistant is live, you're going to be getting charged 12.5 cents per minute that anyone is on the phone with your AI voice assistant. So if you keep these settings the way that they had them, you can definitely incur a lot of costs if there's mistakes. So moving on to post-call analysis, this entire section is just for extracting certain variables from the phone call. If you want to extract the caller's name, you're going to do add post-call analysis, and you're going to do text or selector, and you're just going to throw in a name. If you want to do their age, then you hit number, and you're going to throw in extract their age. This is only important if you are extracting variables to use elsewhere. Under post-call analysis, you have security and fallback settings. The only thing here that is really relevant is selecting everything except PII. Let's say you're taking credit cards over the phone, or you are working with medical practices and you need things to be HIPAA compliant. You're going to want to select everything except PII, and you're going to want to go through this. If, for example, you're taking credit card information, you just select credit cards, and then it will encrypt any credit card information that is taken over the phone. That way you can stay, compliant. And then second to last, you have your webhook settings. This is if you want to send a payload somewhere. And lastly, MCPs. This is if you want to attach any external apps to your AI voice assistant and you don't want to use the custom function under functions. All right, last but not least, let's actually make this thing live. So to make it live, go over to publish. You're going to want to select inbound phone number if you want the AI to receive calls. So if you're creating an AI receptionist, inbound phone number. If you're just creating an AI voice assistant that is making outbound calls, you're going to select outbound. Either way, same procedure. Hit publish, and your agent is now live. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the tips and tricks, especially the ones provided by the Retell Enterprise team. If you are looking to build AI voice assistants, I definitely would recommend Retell AI. I don't just say that because I have connections with them.
Liar.
I say that because I started with Synflow AI, then I went to Bland AI, and now I'm on Retell. I have been doing this for months, and I have experimented with every major voice assistant platform. I'm not getting paid to say this. I don't have any deals with them. Retell is the best platform when it comes to voice AI assistants. That is going to be it for this guide. If you have any questions, shoot them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And again, if you want my prompt, DM me on Instagram. My handle will be in the description. Thanks for watching.